Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Smash that like button and let's just jump into it. I'm trying to speak off the cuff a little bit more. And can you tell that I've been struggling the most with any kind of intro or greeting? Hi, hello. I'm Marcel. Welcome back to my channel in which I analyze Big Brother and try to make predictions about what's going to happen next. Because anybody can say what they want to happen next. Some can say what should happen next. And I'm just going to tell you what I think is going to happen next anyway. Also, sorry if I look chopped as fuck right now. It's just because sometimes I'm chopped as fuck, and that's just life, you know? Anyway, so I am back. I did skip making a video last week. That was unintentional. I know, obviously, I was riding very hard for Jason, and it was one of my winner picks from the very beginning, and I'm very sad that he got evicted. That's not the reason why I didn't make a video, though. It was just kind of an unfortunate coincidence. I was having a horrible day last Thursday anyway, only to, you know, come home and the next morning watch the episode to watch Jason get evicted. It was like the fucking barf frosting on a shit cake or whatever. I just couldn't do it. And that's okay. Sometimes you have to call out of work, and that's just life. Like, I am very sad that Jason got evicted, obviously, and I'm not even going to get into the whole thing about the tea party because it's already been discussed so much, and other people have made the points that I would want to make way better than me. Obviously, I would have loved Jason to win, but I know she's booked and busy as Selena right now. Side note, everyone needs to go watch the performance of Selena in drag as Jason, lip-syncing to their own Big Brother clips. It's kind of iconic. Now, obviously, as we all just recently saw, Lyric was evicted in a massive blindside upset. This has become sort of the bookend of the month-long steamroll from the beginning of the game, and now things are really starting to change, which is very exciting and very good for all our sanity, frankly. Don't get me wrong, I didn't like hate Lyric or anything, and like obviously she was another one of my winner picks, but it had to be somebody, and obviously Drew being evicted would not really be that much of an upset to the steamroll. And I really did not want Melody to go. Again, I predicted she would go really quickly, but I am so glad that she has stuck around. I think Melody's amazing. Right now, I can almost see her making Final 2. Maybe Final 2 or 3. We shall see. Side note, it's a really great thing that the headline is Crazy Big Brother Blindside, and everybody's happy about this blindside happening, because imagine getting evicted from Big Brother because you couldn't finish a Paw Patrol puzzle. Like, I would actually go Joker mode, actually. Now, like I said, Lyric being evicted was a giant blindside that has really upset the power imbalance in the house. Left and right, things are crumbling, people are realigning themselves. It's almost like at night when you turn the light on and the roaches start scattering, right? And this is what makes sort of trying to predict what's going to happen next interesting. I try to think of making these predictions as doing a weather report. You look at the clouds and you look at what's going to happen next. But realistically, I mean, their tagline is kind of true, expect the unexpected, and this weather report is all over the place. I did, like I said, skip making a video last week, although I did briefly think about making a video in the middle of the week. In that video, what I was planning on saying were 3 predictions of how I thought the week could go. Worst case scenario, realistic scenario, and best case scenario. Part of my best case scenario would have been Taylor winning the next HOH. Of course, I was also kind of having a hard time really being able to see past the steamroll coming our way. But this has all been a lesson to never stop believing, never stop dreaming, or whatever the fuck they said on Glee, because Taylor is not the new HOH, but Lala is the new HOH. And those two are obviously working very closely together, and Taylor is very influential on Lala's games. While it's not exactly what I would have thought the best case scenario would be, it's really good. It's honestly almost even a better case scenario, because Taylor is very influential on Lala, but she's not going to get any of the blood directly on her hands from whatever happens this week. And while Lala has not always been like the most well-beloved person in the house, the fact that she is the oldest person to have won the wall competition, and she's just an older woman in general, that kind of garners some level of respect from everybody, right? So, and she's also not seen as being like a super hardcore gamer. So I feel like the things that are going to happen during her HOH that other people are not going to appreciate are kind of going to get pushed aside, if that makes sense. Anyway, I will say, looking back at some of my more recent predictions that have not quite come true, but also not come true. Like, number one, a main thing that I really thought was going to happen was that in the midst of the crossovers, the tool shed, the whatever, that Devins was going to kind of have a secret final 2 with Drew. Obviously, that's not really happened because Devins was trying to get Drew out of the game, but it does feel like Drew thinks that that's what's happening. Maybe. Like, it seems like he's always telling Devins his plans. It seems like he's always thinking that Devins is in his corner no matter what. I do wonder if that's going to continue now after what's happened this last week. Again, with expecting the unexpected. This is a really good show of the fact that this game is a social psychological experiment, because they put Drew on the block and they were going to get him out, and then they decided not to, and now we get to see how Drew is going to react. And he might still be riding with them, and they might be stronger with him than ever, because that is the interesting thing about the social element of this, is that people really do act in strange and unpredictable ways sometimes, and that to me is way more interesting than just this person gets put on the block, this person swears revenge, this person gets revenge, right? Like, alliances are so strange and dynamic because people are weird, and that is what is so interesting about this game. Now, the other thing that I predicted that was going to happen that is kind of not happening, but kind of is happening. I knew eventually the big power alliance was going to have to start crumbling, because that's just basic math, right? Since the tool shed kind of already broke the middlemen off earlier, right? It became less. What I was imagining would happen was that the red corner, I am not calling them the cool kids. I am sorry. I refuse to call them the cool kids. No, they're the red corner. I thought it would be like the red corner versus the original crossovers. But since they already kind of broke off the middlemen on their own earlier, right? Without really telling them, obviously, to their faces. It's really more like middlemen, vets, red corner. But the red corner now sees the writing on the wall after this blindside. I also predicted that Chuck would be the one to jump ship and then go over to the Lala, Taylor, Yash, Mallory side of the house. But it seems like now Kamu is actually the one trying to do that, from what I understand. Which, I mean, that is technically good gameplay, so. But yeah, Chuck has not really seemed to, as far as I'm aware, go to the other side for any kind of protection or make any kind of deals. I did hear at first that Lala was not wanting to put Chuck on the block just due to, like, understandable personal reasons. But once Taylor correctly pointed out that Chuck would not extend the same courtesy their way, I do believe he is currently on the block. If I think they have made nominations already. I'm filming this, like, Saturday night. Honestly, I do predict that at the end of the week, no matter who's on the block right now, or like whatever happens, other than of course certain competition wins, I do feel like Chuck is going to be the one to go home this week. Now, like, obviously the big powerful move would be getting Haley or Kamu, because they're really the ones that have been gaming the most. But that's kind of the thing with these things. The people who are gaming the most have more connections. They're also considered threat shields. But yeah, just based on the way things usually go, my prediction is that Chuck is going to go home this week. But man, never stop dreaming about better things.
Kamu, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Anyway, that's all I have to say today. I just really wanted to come back on here and make a quick little video. I'm really excited to see what happens next after this blindside, after we officially put a period on the steamroll, after the fall of the House of Thog, and I'm excited to see what Lala has in store for us this week. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. It genuinely means so much to me to have people take a chance on my videos, so thank you so much. I hope you guys are enjoying watching Big Brother as much as I am. Bye!